Treat your cravings as clues to what is bad for you in your diet. This is the key thing that no one is understanding, that it took me a decade to be able to understand and accept that the things that I craved the most in my diet were in fact the things that were triggering me. And unless I realized that, I was going to be stuck in this rationalization of consumption where I'd keep consuming this thing even though it was triggering me, and I'd keep consuming it and I'd be stuck in this illness, right? But then I realized that these cravings were very similar to cravings to other things I'd had in my life in the past that I knew were bad for me, right? Substances, things like that. And I made that correlation one day. I started to realize that something isn't right about this. Why would I be craving this food? And as soon as I eat it, I can't stop eating it, you know? And I'm even thinking about the food 30 minutes before I ever get to my house. I'm fantasizing about the food per se. I'm picturing how it's going to be to eat this food, right? These are problems, right? You don't fantasize about broccoli and apples and carrots, right? You don't fantasize about potatoes and rice and beans, right? If someone said, hey, you can't eat any of those foods, what would you do? You'd say, okay, and you'd move on, right? But if someone said, you can't eat meat anymore, or you can't have sugar anymore, or you can't eat any dairy or gluten anymore, you might freak out, right? And if you freak out, that means usually that there's a problem with that food. If you've developed an attachment to that food, okay, and it is like the food you go to whenever you are stressed or whenever you feel like you need a little boost, then that is a sign that there's a problem there. You should not have attachments to food that make you feel uncomfortable if you remove them. Typically, that's a sign that there is an immune response that is occurring, okay? And when you have an immune response, it's gonna make all your symptoms worse, right? And I've saw this over and over and over again, that when you have a craving, you get an immune response. So it's a sign from your body that something is not right. Your body is not accepting that. So it's creating an adrenaline response instead from the food to try to offset the allergy response that you're getting from the food. So if you want to be able to identify the real things that are causing you illness in your diet, then eliminate the things you crave. And first of all, I know it's going to be emotionally difficult to do this because it is for everybody. So you start with just one thing at a time. Or if you're a really strong person, you remove all the things. You go, hey, I'm eating nothing but vegetables, fruits, rice, potatoes, beans, lentils, oil, salt. Let me see what happens for a month or two, right? All the healthiest of foods. And if you're someone out there that's eating carnivore like crazy, eating meat like crazy, you have to realize that that is a craving also. Meat is not necessary for life. You do not need meat to survive. In fact, most people are much healthier without the meat. So I do eat animal products here and there. I am not against them. I want to make that real clear. I am based on my personal experience and the science and all the studies out there that show that meat is not something you want to consume multiple times per day, and it can disrupt the gut microbiome and affect you. So if you have meat as one of the things you crave and you say, no, I need meat, right? Well, guess what? If someone told you to remove the meat and you got an issue with it, then it's something that can help you to remove, right? Anything that that someone's telling you to remove and you feel uncomfortable about doing, it makes you feel uncomfortable. The more uncomfortable you are about removing it, the more potential there is and more gain there is there that you could have from simply removing it. So this is a trick. It's a trick from the spirit. It's a trick from the immune system. You know, it's you get caught in this idea that, hey, you know, that this feeling is necessary. This feeling is good. So thanks for watching, everybody. Reach out. My website's endsickness.org.